Geordie Journos back with your latest Tokyo update from Japan and the Komazawa Olympic Park, where Newcastle United have been training for the first time this morning. We saw the likes of Bruno back, Lloyd Kelly, Sean Longstaff, Joe Willock all training. Also spoke to Eddie Howe and Dan Burn in a sort of throwback to Champions League press conference, wasn't it? Where
the
translation, that sort of 30-second awkward silence where Eddie Howe and Dan Burn twiddling their thumbs. But yeah, there was actually plenty to come from it, I thought. Plenty of lines, an update on England. Eddie Howe reiterating his commitment to Newcastle United, no contact with England. But Jordan, what were your thoughts on the day? We also got to see Newcastle training as well, very briefly.
Yeah, so I would say on the training, having previously been to Germany not long ago, we've seen a lot more of the training today than we did in Germany. Because the running track, it actually allowed to get quite close to the players. So I thought that was really good. I mean, you don't get to see much more than them running about and kicking a ball for a couple of seconds or whatever. But I thought it was really good to see. It was, as you mentioned there, near enough a full group, or the exception, I think 3 players, but they're not notable names.
Young lads, weren't they?
Garan Quall, Alfie Harrison and Cathal Heffernan, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Garan Quall didn't travel.
Sorry.
It was Harrison Ashby, who has travelled, not involved in training this morning, or at least a 15-minute session.
I'm glad you correct us there.
Yeah, but Garan Quall was one of them. That segues us nicely into one of your questions about the players who didn't travel, who were like unconfirmed why they didn't travel. Obviously, we've got Kieran Trippier, Anthony Gordon, who we knew weren't travelling due to international and extended break, but Garan Quall, Alex Murphy and the other player, Joe White. It's all up here.
It's all the heat it's getting, remember? We're getting stuff.
Yes, we're sweating. But yeah, they're not travelling, and we thought it could be loan related potentially, but Eddie Howe, injuries. Yeah,
all injured, so they're not here. I'd imagine probably for Garan Quall it'll be an absolute banker that he goes out on loan. I think Eddie Howe already hinted that previously anyway, but that's not why he's here. Swelling to his
knee?
I think it was either his knee or his ankle.
His leg.
Terrible. Not promoting facts here, but it was either one of the two.
Liam's not here, someone's got to do the waffle.
Yeah, so Joe White I think was a problem with his back, I think.
Yes.
And Alex Murphy, hip. Glad you remember that. I
remember it because the woman who was translating had to ask Eddie Howe all over again, didn't she?
Yeah, my questions caused a few translation issues.
Eddie Howe wanted a translation.
Eddie Howe was translating my question and his answer back to this lady. But yeah, they're not present. But as I said there, I think it was pretty much a full house in terms of senior players today, which was good. Lloyd Kelly, Sean Longstaff, Joe Willock. Obviously, they missed the whole game. They trained. One of the questions asked Eddie Howe was, when will we see them? And I think we'll probably see them for the second game of the
Yokohama
week against
Marinos game.
Yeah, I like your pronunciation of that one. But yeah, that was my two. That was my 2 questions in the press comments, and I had a little bit of huddle with Eddie Howe, which will come on to.
Much appreciated.
It was hard because obviously I had lots of Japanese press on to ask as well, which is fair enough. It's open game, fair game, but it was really tough to get a flow of questions where we had two. I had 2 questions. I was going to ask a third, which I'll come on to, but then was cut off by the person that was sort of hosting it, and then went to someone else. So yeah, it was a different dynamic, very much a throwback to the Champions League press conferences, as you mentioned. But in that press conference, I think I mentioned a couple of my lines there. One of yours questions, Bruno Guimaraes.
Yes, I had a triple hit at Eddie Howe on Bruno. Just asked how pleased he was to see him back, and obviously pleased. He said the quality of the group has increased significantly, and having sort of a bare bones squad in the previous couple of weeks to now having the likes of Bruno back, Fabian Schär, Martin Dubravka, Miguel Almiron, just bolsters the squad, raises the quality, and now we're starting 11 for the upcoming friendly games. It starts to look a whole lot stronger with Bruno in it. Then I also asked about the release clause situation. Glad that's put to bed. And Eddie Howe said, look, it never really entered his thinking. He'd be surprised if it had Bruno's thinking as well. As an ambulance goes past, hopefully not Newcastle.
I was always saying that's a typical European sound, but I remember we're not in Europe.
Yes,
we're in the Far East.
Yes. And then I also ask, because I'm interested to know, release clause, time-sensitive release clauses are sometimes very time-sensitive. Sometimes the time-sensitive on an annual basis.
Comes back, yeah.
Yes, so it can come back next June or things like that. So I wanted some answer from Eddie Howe. Was that the case? and he said he doesn't think it's the case, but is not 100% certain. So, was it a question for Eddie Howe? It's probably a question for someone above Eddie Howe, if we're being honest. But Eddie Howe not 100% certain whether Bruno's release clause will come into effect in the summer again. So yeah, no news really. I've made a big deal of the fact there's no real update, but the fact he didn't completely rule it out means everyone can continue to speculate. So.
Yeah, I think it was important to know that, because even ourselves, when you have that release clause which obviously expire, I think the back end of June, does it indeed come back? Because if it comes back, then it's a problem. But yeah,
it's an annual problem, and that 100 million starts to look better and better value as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it wasn't a definitive answer from Eddie Howe, but he did say he doesn't think that's going to come back. So
fingers crossed that's the case.
Yeah, so 150 million pound next year, or maybe more.
It goes up. Yeah,
he has a very good season. But I think in terms of the press conference, I think that's probably.
Well, I thought my other question about Bruno was, is he a leader in the group? I know Liam has gone on this channel previously saying he sees him as a future captain. Couldn't really ask that when the current captain on this trip, Dan Burn, is sitting next to Eddie Howe. Do you see Bruno as the next captain? But I said, do you see him as a potential leader? Because obviously there's a vacant spot in the leadership group, which Dan Burn said there would be a vote on from the players, which is interesting. So Matt Ritchie's gone. There's potential. Kieran Trippier could go as well. Callum Wilson is injured. Jamal Lascelles is obviously injured as well. So uncertainty in the leadership group. Really.
Injured leadership.
Dan Burn recognised, he went, I'm the only one here, it's a bit lonely. So I just asked Bruno, is he a future leader in this setup? And Eddie Howe said he's absolutely a leader. He's one of them, leads by example, the way he plays and the standards he demands. Not necessarily as vocal as someone like Dan Burn, but is a potential leader to come, and we'll see the results of that leadership group vote when, I don't know,
in due course,
Mark Gillespie gets voted in, or someone a popular figure, I don't know, we'll see. But that'll be interesting. We'll get that ahead of the new season, I'd imagine. So the Southampton game. Yeah. And in terms of injury updates for that, Eddie Howe said Matt Targett might be back. So
yeah,
that's good.
Seen the leadership group?
No.
Yeah, he's getting closer. But that's another one who was not here actually, Matt Targett.
Yeah, Matt Targett, but that's due to injury. The likes of Sven Botman and Jamal Lascelles as well. He said they would be back later this year. Callum Wilson's obviously probably about a month away, but Callum Wilson could be anything between 3 weeks and 2 months away. Yeah.
Lewis Miley as well, is that
he said it was a big blow, didn't he? He said it was a real shame for him ahead of the new season. So was there anything else?
No, I think that was it from the press conference.
The big one from you.
Yeah, so we'll go on to
Eddie on the transfers.
Yeah, he doesn't like players' names being
made him squirm. Jordan Cronin.
I didn't do it intentionally, Eddie. I'm sorry. But we like to know these things.
The questions you've got asked, Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. It's there's been a lot of noise around AC Milan defender Malick Thiaw, and that's how you pronounce it, because
that's how you say
it. Watch the video of him pronounce his own name. So it's the first time I've got a pronunciation right, like a name. I can't even say it now.
Hats off, Jordan. You can't say name, but you can say Malick Thiaw.
Yeah, I got the pronunciation right now. I can't actually say it. So I asked about him. There's been a lot of noise from mostly Italy, to be honest, about the player.
It's very one-sided, by the way.
And
Eddie Howe played it down yesterday as well.
Yes,
for some context. His agent played down any sort of reports that a deal had been agreed.
Yeah.
There's talks that have happened, but I think that's, to our understanding, that's as far as anything's gone. But
Yeah, so I asked him, and I thought it was quite an interesting answer, because I said there's a lot of noise from Italy about Malick Thiaw. What can you say on that? Do you like the player? And his answer was no, there's no update. So was that a little hint from Eddie that they are chasing it? I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know currently where that deal is at. But then I thought another little hint from Eddie Howe. Well, he pretty much admitted that he liked the player. Called him a very good player, so he was fully aware of him from his obviously game against Newcastle in the Champions League at the San Siro. Didn't play against Newcastle at St James's Park. I remember played really well that day alongside Fikayo Tomori. So usually with Eddie Howe, when you put a player to him that is total nonsense, he tends to bat it down and says there's no truth in that, whereas he's left the Malick Thiaw conversation open. So for me, that probably suggests that there is genuine interest there.
I think, this is just what we think, reading between the lines or trying to. The fact he said there's no update suggests it's an ongoing process. like update. Not there isn't one yet. Conversations have taken place. If this was a deal dead in the water, or if there was no genuine interest there, Eddie Howe would do his best to say as much.
Yeah.
And if they were on the verge of signing him, I think he'd probably go the opposite way and go, oh, I don't want to comment on Malick, and use him on first name terms, which I remember he famously did with Tino. I say famously. I remember picking up on the fact he was on first name basis with Tino Livramento before he'd even signed.
It's one of them, because we've dealt with Eddie Howe for the best part of 2.5 years now.
You know, his idiosyncrasies and the way he phrases.
That is an incredible term. That would never have came into my head. That's incredible. But yeah, that's right. I think reading between the lines of Eddie Howe's answers, I think that's a deal that they are interested in. Whether they go and get that deal done is another question. Just
nowhere near as far forward as expected.
Yeah. So,
or as reported by sources in you.
Yeah. So that's the Geordie Journos reading in Eddie Howe's mind and answers and whatever. So
yes.
I think there was a few other bits in the huddle, but I think that's probably under embargo for now, so we'll stay clear of that too.
Yeah. Jordan's question is available on Newcastle World.
Yes.
Yes, now. And to be honest, by the time this video comes out, most things probably will be. But we've talked about what we can, and I think we've covered all the
only thing I want to add quickly, probably Kieran Trippier. The situation with that.
Yes.
So Eddie Howe was asked about, which I thought was quite naughty from Kieran, I'll be honest, about his Instagram post
meeting on
Saturday. Yeah, well, that was the term meeting, and then atting someone who was head of recruitment at who's a Saudi Pro League club? Shabab? No.
Al Ittifaq. Stephen Gerrard.
Ittifaq it was, yeah, sorry. I thought it was a bit naughty from Kieran, because there's obviously a lot of speculation linking him with Saudi Arabia. We've had information from ourselves that is a possibility. And for him to go to Dubai, have that meeting, I think it was a Thai restaurant, and at the person meeting, I thought the word in the meeting, people might think I'm being really pedantic here, and to be fair I probably am, but I thought the word meeting was a bit naughty from Kieran, and suggested that might be a deeper
meeting,
deeper
catch
meeting.
up. He could have been a less brutal with it.
But yeah, Eddie Howe said that he can't control what Kieran does. He's away on holiday.
And Eddie Howe knows the lad as well. Tom Spring, who is current head of scouting at Al Ittifaq, previously worked as a scout at Bournemouth, and if you look him up online, if you look at his LinkedIn, which I've obviously done, being a stalker / journalist, there's pictures with Tom Spring and Eddie Howe. So Eddie Howe did say, it was a personal meeting rather than a professional one, even though meeting, I think in our interpretation of the word would suggest.
Maybe we've interpreted it because we know that there is interest from over there, so maybe that's the way we picked it up. But
it's all smoke and mirrors, it's all speculation.
Certainly want to watch though, because as I say, Kieran Trippier's future.
I don't think he's going to Al Ittifaq, that's what I will say.
No.
Because they're not a PIF club for one.
No.
Their money they could offer would probably not be.
It wouldn't touch the PIF clubs.
It wouldn't touch what Kieran Trippier would. What would tempt him to leave Newcastle?
Yeah, because if you go over there, you want to. Let's be honest. You want a big. I hate the term, but you want a big payday, don't you? So you can ultimately get as much money as you can before you retire, and that's totally understand.
Yes,
totally understand.
So more to come from that. Well, maybe not, but
Kieran
Trippier's back next week. Yes.
There we go.
Thank you. Saved with Anthony Gordon as well.
Yeah.
So, and we'll be back next week. Looking forward to the Cellar Weekender.
Yeah.
Which doesn't have a sponsor, by the way.
No. It was Visit Malta last year.
Yes.
We're getting the stage out of the video. We're totally waffling.
Yeah, we're waffling. We'll cancel it.
We've got Lee Ryder from Connacht over there waiting.
Yes. Shout out to Lee Ryder. He's also in Tokyo.
We're going to I don't know if we can say the event. I think we can.
Yeah, we can. By the time it's out, we're going to the kit launch event at what's it called? It's Eurosports in Tokyo.
Jinaza.
Yeah, that's where it's based in Tokyo. The new third kit's being announced. You might have seen it teased. New club crest. I say new club crest. It's the old club crest, which was actually launched in 1983, the same year Newcastle were last in Tokyo for pre-season.
Wow.
So whether that was intentional or not, it's certainly interesting, and people can correct me in the comments if the specifics of 1983 are not completely correct. But hey,
don't back down, double down, Don.
Yeah,
that's right.
No, that's my knowledge. That's what I'm going with. So yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Yes.
I was to say, let's wrap it up there.
Yes. Four Rivers Financial Planning for all your holistic financial needs, pension advice, all that. Thanks for supporting the channel and letting us go to places like Tokyo. Not that they funded it, this is very much a company thing, but it does help. Couldn't send Liam one. Missed.
Terrible.
You wouldn't miss this weather though, he'd be sweating.
Yeah, I'm glad actually by the when we're doing this video it's been raining now, it's stopped, so we've actually timed this.
No, it's still pouring down there.
No, ignore me then. Right. Thanks everyone for watching.
Yes.
We'll see you sometime this week as well, because
we'll keep the videos coming, and remember to check out the Shields Gazette Newcastle World and all our social medias where we'll be posting shorter, more concise updates,
less waffle,
more professional updates, and also stories there as well. So you'll be able to see everything, all things Newcastle United over in Tokyo, and then this is our little supplementary video that keeps you up to date.
Just for you guys.
Yes, this is Geordie Journos, this is off the clock stuff, behind the scenes, uncut, well will be cut because we've made about 10 mistakes this video, but yeah.
Right, Walter?
Yes, please like, comment, share, subscribe for all your latest Geordie Journos content, ring the bell, and we'll see you in the next video here from Tokyo.